So you're explaining these things to your family members. Did you find that it helped you double down on your beliefs, or did it start to make you question?
I would say neither, really. It was really just felt like, just walking through a minefield and being glad I got through the conversation. Like in the conversation, I was just sort of just being put in a defensive situation, and it was just uncomfortable. I didn't necessarily make me dig my heels in harder per se. It was just an annoyance. It's just something that made me not want to interact with non-Scientologists like at that time, because it's like, I don't need this bullshit. I don't need this trouble. I don't need to deal with your questions. Like, I'm fine doing my thing. Like, this is just an annoyance.
Oh, yeah. I definitely know the feeling. And I also think that speaks to the programming as a child, where if you're not thinking one way or the other, that just means that's how life is. And that's how life is. Like, there's no reason for you to question it or even want to believe it harder if that's just your reality. Would you say that that's a true statement?
I think it's totally true. And I know there's no way to police or enforce what I'm about to say, but it seems to me that it is so wrong to force any type of religious beliefs on children, given how a child will go down whatever path you put them on and will believe. They won't even question it. It'll just be what they think is reality. And it just seems like, I mean, I know every person thinks their group is the right one. So of course the right thing to do is to force that on your child. And it's like, oh my goodness, not at all. Scientology has some beliefs about children that I think make it very much different than these other more mainstream organizations. And that's something I'd really be interested to chat with you about is, one of the things about growing up in Scientology is that Scientology does not believe in children, which sounds like a weird thing to say. My understanding is most Abrahamic faiths believe in a single lifetime. Is that fair to say? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And so as such, in your single lifetime, you have a developmental stage. You can be a child, you can be a teen, you can be an adult, you can be an elderly person. Scientologists believe in the fact that we're all, 76 trillion years old, and you just live lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, that your body is just more of an illusion than anything else. You aren't your body. You're a 76 trillion year old spiritual being. That if you're 1 year old, if you're in a 1-year-old body, that means, 1 year and 1 day ago, you were probably a 90-year-old person or a 60-year-old person. You were a full-grown adult about 2 minutes before you were born into your new body. And so Scientologists do not believe that children are children. They believe you're a fully mature spiritual being who happens to be occupying a body that is so small and new that you're just struggling to control it.
Wow.
And so it's not considered virtuous to be a child. In fact, it's sort of considered a little bit of an aberration. Scientologists would say you're really just dramatizing being a child. You're kind of acting out, and I'm using a lot of Scientology words and I shouldn't because I don't want to have to define them.
No, that's okay.
That if you are a young child, in order to manifest being fully spiritually aware, you wouldn't act like a child. You'd be acting like an adult. Because people who are acting like children are just acting out of amnesia of the fact that, a few moments earlier, you were a full-grown adult with a life, a house, a career, real-world problems, and now your biggest problem is whether you can have your blanket or not. So Scientology is almost like snap out of it, stop acting in this amnesia state of child, and get with the program, which is why children, as soon as they're old enough to read and write and understand the words L. Ron Hubbard wrote, as soon as children are old enough to understand Scientology, they are pressured to do Scientology.
Wow. Okay. Can I stop you for a second? Because
go ahead.
I'm noticing some holes here. So the first being punishing a child for the amnesia state, when you just told me about the creation story where after you drop your body, you go to like an alien hub and they wipe your memory. Isn't that like, how do you punish someone for part of the the process.
It's not literally punishment. It's not like a Scientology parent would scold their child for not being able to remember their past life.
Right.
But there wouldn't be a whole lot of patience and understanding of like, oh, children are just children. And they're like, well, no, children act like children because they went to the implant station and they don't remember their past lives. And he really should just snap out of it. I'm not saying Scientology. I know there's a lot of Scientology parents who would go, that's not how I treated my children. Well, you can never paint everybody with the same brush.
Yeah.
But the belief system
course.
of Scientology is such that a child acting as a child is not considered, oh, that's just wonderful. It's like, by indulging that state, even though you could argue, well, the child didn't wipe his own memory. That happened at the implant station. He's not responsible for that. A Scientologist would go, okay, fine. Yes, he's not responsible for that, but don't indulge it. Don't indulge it. Don't validate it. Don't make them feel like it's good that they're behaving in this way. It's okay to treat children as adults in Scientology, and they are treated as adults in Scientology. There aren't protections that exist in Scientology for children. Children are pushed to, in fact, there's this other concept in Scientology that by not making a child contribute to the family or the group or society in the same way that an adult does, you're actually forcing that child to become criminal. You're forcing that child to be criminal, and that's actually part of why children misbehave.
What?
Is they're dramatizing being criminal because they're not able to contribute the way a healthy member of society would contribute. And so children are, I'm not exaggerating these things.
I'm losing my mind.
I know there's Scientology parents who would take issue with, connecting a belief system to behavior. Like they might go, well, maybe some Scientology parents do that, but I didn't. And then you weren't being a good Scientology parent.
Yeah. Okay. Another question I have for you though is if Scientology is so based on the tech and things that are provable and knowable by science, right? Wouldn't they understand that even if it's true, the reincarnation thing, which I think, who knows, maybe, but like, even if you have a 2 trillion-year-old spirit in a child's body, they're still governed by their child brain, and their brain is only developed in a certain capacity to be able to handle themselves and critical thinking and empathy and all those things that we know come over time. So do they just completely ignore the facts of the body, the way that the body affects the behavior?
Yeah, they don't believe in brain development.